Good afternoon. We begin with breaking news. Alberta Health says one person has died from the measles, but no other details have been provided at this point. It comes as the total case count rises to over 1,900 in Alberta. The majority of those cases are in children who are not fully vaccinated. A man has been sentenced to life in prison in a contract killing in the Southwest 3 years ago. Michael Arnold will also be ineligible for parole for 18 years. Arnold walked up to a vehicle in the Evergreen neighborhood in August of 2022 before opening fire, killing Nikita Barron and injuring her husband. Court heard Arnold was a hired hitman who was supposed to kill the man and killed Barron as a witness. Arnold did not know Barron was in the car at the time. The Calgary Police Association is weighing in on the municipal election. Today, the union endorsed Sonia Sharp for mayor and all her community's first candidates for council. The municipal party has promised to hire 500 more police officers over the next 4 years and change City Hall's tone toward law enforcement. The president of the police union calls its endorsement unprecedented. The union says Communities First is responding to a call for help from its 2,300 frontline officers.
They are sending a message that they want the Chief and Commission to create a plan to restore operational strength and rebuild the service, in keeping with Calgary's status as one of the largest cities in Canada. And they are committed to securing the necessary funding to make this plan a reality.
Sharp says Communities First is honored and humbled to receive the endorsements. The Calgary Foundation's latest quality of life report shows nearly 9 in 10 residents say this is a good place to live. That's up 9 percentage points from last year. 2/3 now rate their quality of life as good or excellent. But it's a different story after dark, and especially downtown. Just 27% of Calgarians overall feel safe in the core at night. 41% of men, only 13% of women, and it plunges to just 7% of seniors.
We've only been studying this downtown core question for the last couple of years, but that it has increased. Concerns around safety have increased this year. Definitely if you are in a more marginalized group, for instance, if you are a senior, if you're a person living with a disability, and also if you're a woman, your degree of feeling safe is lower than the average.
The report also shows food insecurity is growing. 28% of Calgarians used community food services this past year. The survey is based on responses from 1,000 residents with a margin of error of plus or minus 3 points, 19 times out of 20. Thousands of Alberta healthcare professionals are rallying today, calling for a better deal with the provincial government. A lunch hour rally is taking place at the Foothills Medical Centre and the Sheldon Schumer Centre. In September, 59% of Health Sciences Association of Alberta members voted against the tentative agreement. HSS members include paramedics, pharmacists, physiotherapists, and dozens more professions. The HSAA had said it is not calling a strike vote, but is asking for a better wage offer. The Canada Border Services Agency says a system outage has affected passengers at some airports. The CBSA says the outage affected primary inspection kiosks at about 8:20 Calgary time this morning. There are 10 airports, including Calgary International, that use this technology. The Calgary airport says there was a momentary interruption this morning, but the kiosks are now back up and running. The CBSA says it's investigating the cause of the outage. Reaction is pouring in to Premier Danielle Smith's plan to build an oil pipeline to the West Coast, and First Nations are speaking out against it. The province is spending $14 million to get the proposal rolling, and it's hoped the private sector will step in to build the pipeline. However, the Gitgathla First Nation on BC's West Coast opposes the idea. The band's elected chief says the risk of a pipeline or a tanker on their lands, waters, community, and way of life is too great. Smith's proposal would depend on Ottawa overturning its ban on oil tankers on the West Coast. Meantime, the Calgary Chamber of Commerce welcomes the proposal, saying improving market access is essential to the energy sector's long-term viability. Deloitte Canada says the global oil industry is in a downturn, but expansion of the Trans Mountain pipeline has helped Canadian producers. A report from Deloitte says Trans Mountain has given oil companies incentive to expand production and reduce their reliance on pipelines in the U.S. It says the pipeline is at 80 to 85% of capacity. It's forecasting oil prices in the $65 U.S. a barrel range next year, rising to $71 U.S. by 2030. More than 70% of Canadian crude production comes from the oil sands. High-speed rail proponents are taking another shot at getting passenger rail service in place between Calgary and Edmonton. Toronto startup TransPod aims to build the vacuum tube train system that could see trains travel over 1,000 kilometers an hour. The company has partnered with Algoma Steel and Supreme Steel to promote its plans for a test track. The province has designated it as a major project that should be prioritized. Approval of the project is contingent on the province's transportation master plan, expected sometime this year. TransPod has been planning the project for the last 5 years. Calgary's Animal Services is inviting Calgarians to open their homes to a new furry friend. Starting today, all adoptable dogs will be available for $100 plus GST. Each is spayed or neutered, vaccinated, microchipped, and comes with a 1-year license. No appointment is required. The 3-day adopt-a-thon is on a first-come, first-served basis. It's day 2 of the Toronto Raptors training camp in Calgary. The NBA team has taken over the Jack Simpson Gym at the University of Calgary. The Raptors played their first preseason game on October 6th. This is the first time the team has held its training camp in Alberta.
Like, it's a whole country that's supporting the Toronto Raptors, not just a Providence or something like that. So it's really good to see the support that we have kind of nationwide, and really, really happy to showcase it in front of Calgary.
Most of the practices are closed to the public, but on Friday there will be an open practice starting at 6 p.m. Thanks for joining us. We'll have more on the top stories coming up on CTV News at 5 and 6 or anytime online at ctvnews.ca/Calgary.